Hey guys, I found this really cool little chart, map, graph, really groovy. United States of America population. Type that in Google and you'll come up with what you're looking at here. It's very fascinating because numbers do not lie. Of course, we're all aware of Detroit, how it's degraded into beyond Sodom and Gomorrah because most of the people are gone or they're underground or zombies or I'm not sure. A friend of mine had a person that worked for the government in Detroit back in the, I think it was 60s, and they were drawing a six-figure salary and never worked a day in their life. This comes from a credible source. They're not going to appear on YouTube, but can you imagine? Wow. Detroit used to be the premier city in America, the most prosperous city in America, and now look at it. Well, part of it is because of these statistics that we're seeing, like right here. 313.9 million people in 2012. And then you go back to like 1955, and there was 165 million people. Very interesting. What in the heck has happened? Well, let me show you right here. In 1973, we had Roe versus Wade. It was January of 73. I'll never forget it. I was a senior in high school and didn't really think much about it because my girlfriend would go down and get her birth control pills at Planned Parenthood. So I thought they were, pretty good marketing program, get the young girls, familiar with their services, which were illegal until January of 2000 or 1973. So, well, what happened? 1973, 211.9 million people. Well, in between here, we've lost 50 million people. There's been 50 million Americans that have been vaporized. And you can look at my other video. That's really, really interesting in that what happened was see, you have population growth rate, and you guys can go ahead and play with it. You can see the rates change a little bit, but you got to remember, they should have a abortion death rate in here. That's what they really need to do, abortion death rate. Then, of course, they have China and Canada and the United Kingdom. Wouldn't that be interesting if they put the abortion death rate below here? Well, what has happened with America, as you know, they call it the browning of America, and I'm not a white supremacist. I'm just a person of color. I'm flesh. I think we're all human beings. I don't put much credence into color. My kids are Hispanic. My sisters are Korean. Of course, you know the story about my father, sterilized by our wonderful eugenics program and negative eugenics, and then along came me 9 months later after the artificial insemination on September 8th, 1954, and you have me doing these videos some odd years later. But I will say this, I feel this huge paradigm shift in society. And unless you were part of this area right in here, even up to right here, it's hard for you to see the changes because it's so subtle. There's a video that I did a trailer on, reposted. It's called 180. You got to look at it because everything really is like mind control. It really, really is. And I'm studying this in depth. I'm reading probably more in the last couple months than I have in the last couple years. And certain things are just really, really jumping out at me. And it has to do with life expectancy, population growth rate. Oh yeah, life expectancy. You know what the life expectancy was back in the 1850s, 60s? Take a guess. 40 years old for a male. 40 years old. Look at us now, 78.64. Well, they're going to have to downward adjust this according to many experts because of the prevalence of all sorts of death in the United States amongst elderly. They're not living to 78.64. A lot of people, I don't know too many people in that group. Now there's a lot of sick people at 68. That's what I'm seeing. So I'm 10 years away from that, so I'm going to be sickly with the hepatitis C, the mold poisoning, the dexagenomic stuff. God, I sometimes wonder, Who is Job? I love reading that book. That is a twisted book. It's really, really interesting to see what Job went through. And I wonder what Job's doing now. Anyway, we'll find out someday. So anyway, I'll put a link to this. Have fun. Look at what's going on. This is, eugenics at its finest. This whole thing right here. It's called population control. And there's the word population. And here is the United States of America and China and Canada. Of course, yeah, look at the population growth rate in China. Wow. It looks like it was China, India, and the United States of America. Wow. Look at that. India has a huge and let me say this, guys. People say, well, there's not enough food on the planet to feed everybody. That's a big lie. You're buying into the lies, the deception. One thing I found out is that really everything in this world is so deceptive that you best just go from within your mind to learn these answers and look at your life experience, where you've been, and then you'll be able to really, really see for yourself the reality of things. Now, the other thing, and I'll close with this, is I love watching videos. I'll watch the first maybe minute or two of any video, maybe sometimes if it's longer, breeze through it a little bit. But I always read the comments because I find that I can learn from the comments even actually sometimes more than the video itself. And of course, we're all in a hurry. Our time is valuable, just like you. You're watching this at 6:54. Half of you have left. It's probably the best video put out today, if I must say. So anyway, have a good one, guys. Put the link below, and adios.